Right. Hello, everybody. I'm Daniel Montiglo from Foreigner BG, and today we are with Benjamin Wild from Hashtag Tourism,
Yes.
and we're gonna discuss about the tourist session 2020 in Bulgaria. How are you, Benjamin?
Thank you very much. Doing very well. Well, we had a wonderful weekend, and now the week is coming up, and we have just work.
All right. We have prepared a few questions for Benjamin. They are experts here and his company. He's the founder of Hashtag Tourism, and we're gonna check what is gonna happen this year with the tourism in Bulgaria. The first question is: are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go. It will be a summer season in Bulgaria, and if it will be, what will be the difference with the season last year?
So this year we expect the season to be a bit shorter, since many countries in Europe have not clarified opening borders for the European tourism yet, and this is going to happen in a few weeks or months. That means that the season will start a bit late, but still finish as like common in the end of September, beginning of October. Meaning that this year the season will be a bit shorter. Also, there will most likely be a lack of demand, meaning that for this season the tourism will be a bit more competitive.
Uh-huh. But what about the tourism? Which countries do how you see this future this season? Which countries will expect to come to Bulgaria?
So this is really a complex answer, because we really have to look into the social system, into the society of each country itself. So countries which do not have a big social support for their population will have a higher like let's say like risk on spending money. So most likely Eastern European, for example, which has not established a very high social support yet, they might jump into the question, do I have money for vacation? So they might most likely go with a lower budget on traveling. While, for example, as we can say, I'm from Germany, so in Germany I can say, for example, we have a very big social support, and the German population is really ready to do vacation.
Still will be demand
Yes.
in Germany for the
Yes.
and do you see opportunities for Bulgarian market in the tourist sector for this COVID-19 crisis?
So for Bulgaria, it's really important to catch up on the way on how the tourists are used to communicate. Especially in Bulgaria, there is a possibility to catch up in the social media. And for Germans and for also other European citizens, it's kind of common to be in contact with brands and companies, as well as hotels, for example, to communicate on social media. Any questions, any interaction is always quite common to communicate on Facebook or social media, others. And that means that Bulgaria really has to catch up on that in the average. And that gives a possibility to address, for example, very personal matters on the hotel itself. Like, we are preparing for the crisis. We take care on health. We take care on let's say disinfecting. Or this is really important at this moment, I would believe.
And as we've seen, Bulgaria hasn't been much affected for the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yes.
Is that different with other super famous and popular tourist destinations in Europe? Let's say exactly Italy and Spain and France.
Yes. So thank you very much for that question, because that's a very, I would say, positive or possibility for Bulgaria to communicate that. Since other countries which really have struggling with the corona crisis, Bulgaria has actually managed this quite well. There are almost no cases in comparing to other countries. For example, in Italy and in Spain, it's a major issue. And in Bulgaria, we don't even have like 1,000 or 2,000 people who are actually in the moment having big cases.
Then this is an opportunity. And how they can play this opportunity all the same, or for example, small hotels, big chains? What is the difference on that? How you see that?
So that's a very good question because big hotels have a longer um, decision process and execution process than small hotels. Medium and small hotels have a higher flexibility, and nowadays this season it's even more important to communicate the sanitary issue, the hygienic issue, the frequency of how and where things are going to be disinfected, for example. People this year will have a higher sensibility of cleanness in the hotel, and hotels which proactive communicate that to their audience before even bookings happen have the possibility to gain more trust. So, for example, when you communicate proactive on your social media how the hotel is getting cleaned, then you will be able to execute that a bit like the level of trust. You will be able to communicate a bit better, I would believe. Most likely, small hotels benefit from that a bit better because they are more flexible.
What will be your message for the tourist industry in Bulgaria? I mean, hotels, restaurants, museums, monuments, and all that stuff.
So really important is to care about the audience now more than ever. So it's really, really important to communicate and to address personally to every single audience. How do you care about them? How do you care about their location, their arriving? And that should be proactive before even anybody reaches out to you.
How to do that? How to do that?
Really important is to communicate that via social media. For the audience nowadays, it's really common to look up any question, any location via social media, and they get themselves an idea about that level. Social media helps to gain trust and also to communicate to the audience in a very personal way. And this is the way of communicating in the 21st century.
Uh-huh. What are you suggesting to your clients to do now? Which concrete step? Tell me a couple of steps that you are suggesting to them, to your clients.
So this year it's really important to address packages in terms of a pricing package for different services that you might want to, let's say, on the earlier stage, you might like to have them separated as, for example, food and beverages as well as hospitality. This year it's even more important to package everything together because people want to feel more taken care about. They want to know that this hotel really takes care, so it's really important to communicate that in a very creative way. So address yourself a bit different than the others. Not like we are a hotel, we have bed, we have double bed, and we have food, and this is a restaurant, and here is, for example, the bar. It's really important to be creative because the competition is growing. And care. Really,
focus on the experience.
really important to focus on the experience and to care about your guests.
All right. What about now I would like to ask you about the normal people, me, you, that we're gonna go on vacation this year. Yeah. What we can expect for the market? What about the prices? What you can say about that?
I'm afraid this year the competition is going a bit higher. The demand from the tourists will be a bit lower, so the prices will most likely drop a bit.
And that is good for me.
That is good for you as a consumer. It's not so good for big hotels. Small hotels have a benefit because they most likely have a higher flexibility on that level. But I'm afraid that's going to be very challenging this year.
Mm-hmm. And what you see in the future, things tend to get to normal, we're going to see some long-term changes. What is your impression on that?
I think if the hospitality industry in general takes this opportunity as well at this very moment to communicate their values personally on the social media and to address their personal values, their way of motivation, and their way of caring to their audience. That is something which is really necessary to come up, And once hotels are able to like address that in a very, let's say, personal way, this is their chance to like get themselves out there in a better way and feel more to the audience.
Okay. What about if people that is looking at here is a restaurant, is a hotel, they want to contact with your company, you to help them in this process of social media management? How they can contact you?
So we have our social media appearances, we have our website, and everybody who likes to like address us is able to communicate just simply on, for example, Facebook. Hashtag tourism is our name, and we focus on social media communication, and we have our services specifically related to update existing platforms, have them to appear a bit more professional at some point. We are very creative in the way of how to communicate services, and yeah, I think generally what we are able to do is come up with very individual solutions how the audience of your location needs to be addressed.
Okay. Well, Benjamin, thank you very much for being with us today.
I'm very happy to have you. Thank you very much for this interview, and stay healthy as well in this
You
time.
too. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.